She's your mother.
Oh, yeah?
Now I'm my mother.
I used to be a vape addict back in the day, and low-key this game made me want to relapse. Okay, I mean, it wasn't all that bad. Like, the Chapter 2 cliffhanger low-key had me bricked up in anticipation. And Chapter 3 was actually kind of good. But then Chapter 4 and 5 happened, and they were so bad, I was considering doing a Kate Marsh. I'm gonna summarize what happened so we're all on the same page. So basically Max is this teacher at a college, and she's now got a friend called Safi, but then Safi gets clapped in both ways, and Max realizes that she's got powers again, but this time she can go through like parallel worlds, and then she goes to like a timeline where Safi's alive, where you find out like Safi's friend Maya, who like pulled Kate Marsh and died, and then like these two have got like something to do with her death. Then we find out like Safi's actually a shapeshifter, and Lucas stole Maya's book that pushed Maya to self-delete. And so they get back at Lucas by exposing his ass in front of the whole academy. And then Lucas reveals that Safi's mom actually covered up Maya's death. Then Safi has a meltdown, the storm comes back, then Safi shoots her mom and dips. And Max returns to her normal life. Or at least that's what I think happened, but I'm gonna go over the plot when I'm talking about the shit that was done badly in Double Exposure. We're talking about the good things first. Max is back. I love seeing my baby girl again, and she looks so freaking good. Hannah did such an amazing job at voice acting. It's really nice to see her after 10 years, and she looks beautiful. She's kind of freaky,
Fuck me.
but it's clear that she's still Max Caulfield, just grown up. I think her trauma was handled pretty well as well. Like, it's clear that she's still haunted by the shit that happened in Arcadia Bay. Like, we can see that in her diary, like her nightmare sequence and her thoughts. The graphics look amazing, the facial expressions are portrayed way better than in the original games. The cat DLC was quite cute, even though Max doesn't get to keep the cat. And the soundtrack was amazing. September by Chloe Moriano was amazing, 10 out of 10 song. It's going on my playlist. I felt like an emo hoe listening to that. I think this game could have been good as a standalone game. Like, its premise was actually really interesting. I wish they just kept on the murder mystery bit instead of like doing a whole 180 and making us try and stop Safi from breaking up the timelines. I prayed the final choice was to either like shoot Safi or not. Y'all know I would have done it in a heartbeat. But by bringing Max into it, while we already have her story, is kinda unnecessary. The things that kind of sucked about the game was the plot. First of all, it was very confusing, especially by the end. And the pacing of the game was really weird. Like, we spent like a whole chapter setting up Lucas just to fail, for him to say, oh, he's not even the main villain. And then they just gloss over the fact that Alderman got killed right in front of them. Like, they could have done something interesting with the idea that meeting yourself from a parallel universe could cause you to be non-existent. But no, Alderman died and 5 minutes later no one gave a fuck. None of the choices really felt like they mattered. Well, they don't really for any Life is Strange game. But probably the most impactful choice that you get to make in Double Exposure is what Max's outfit is going to be for the day. Like, one of the consequences is that Moses' hairline starts receding. Like, bro, I don't care. Send him to Turkey. Let him get like a hairline transplant. At least the last choice matters in most Life is Strange games. Well, apart from True Colors, but we don't talk about that game. But Double Exposure has the same as ending, no matter what. Another letdown from Double Exposure was probably the characters. They were all bland and boring, and they kinda all looked the same. The only one I kinda liked was Moses and my bae, Gwen. I couldn't have cared less about anyone else. Love interests were ass. I hated Amanda, and Vin was way too freaky for me. At least Vin kinda had a personality. Like, he was an interesting character, even though he tried to like hit on his dead ex's best friend right after she dies. But the Smash or Pass game was kinda fun. And Amanda was just bland. But she was nice, but she was just bland. And actually, you know what? The makeout scene lucky made me feel something. Probably indigestion, but it was something. You know what? Maybe maturing is realizing that Amanda isn't a bad love interest. Her hairstyle is just ass. The diary entries were quite emotional to read, like they were very well written. It's just the art in it looks way too clean and polished. Like in the original, the diary looked like an actual diary. The scribbles, the ink spills, and like the marks made it feel like an actual journal. The new one feels sterile, like no one has like touched it. No one's a human soul has touched that journal. And its anime as art style did not feel Max like. Like, why were some of the drawings freaky? Like, what is this? I feel like my biggest letdown had to be Safi. Like, her character was boring at first, and then we find out like she could shapeshift and shit, and she was low-key interesting again. And then she crashed out and started yapping about world domination. And then she shot her mom, and then she ruined my bae Gwen's life. Bro, fuck her. All because she couldn't stand up for her damn friend. And Maya. Bro, they could have done so much more with Maya. Like, her and Safi were like a Temu version of Rachel and Chloe. But I was less invested in their story because I don't give a fuck about Safi or Maya. At least with Rachel, no one knows what happened to her. She was just like disappeared one day. And we're emotionally invested in her story because of Chloe. But everyone knows what happened to Maya, so it's not even a mystery. And then we have like a goofy ass nightmare sequence that straight up ripped off Life is Strange 1. And I thought Max and Safi like kissed and made up. Safi literally was like yapping about how she wanted everyone to forgive her. But then she said, fuck that. And in the ending she goes for like world domination. Yo, what is this game doing? Obviously it would be sane to refuse this stupid offer. Who on earth would... Y'all are so down bad for Safi. Max would never agree. And then she like cupped Max's face, kind of romantically. I genuinely thought they were gonna kiss or something. And don't forget that Safi's mom is literally still bleeding out from getting shot, and she's just sat in the background watching them like trying to kiss. If you refuse though, Safi turns it to Max and then walks away kind of awkwardly.
Be seeing you.
Pardon, right? There's something you should know. What?
Oh, we're late for class. We should probably go.
You have something on your shirt. Got it. Oh, thanks.
I've been having... Like, bro, transform into someone like a bit more threatening. Like, that awkward shuffle away made me laugh. Like, turn into The Rock or like Danny DeVito or something. Don't just turn into like this awkward, like lovable character to like walk away and have your badass scene with. And that's when I finally thought this shit show was over. But then I was hit with the ending credits, where Diamond's nose starts bleeding and then Safi turns up behind her and she recruits her to join her gang of Power Rangers. And then we're hit with this screen. Fuck no! Deck 9 threatens to release a new game. Deck 9, please, I will give you my firstborn if you promise not to release any more games. Leave Max Caulfield alone! In conclusion, I'm in love with Gwen. Double exposure sucked, and I'm gonna go suck on some of that strawberry ice. And I'm also very sorry for my voice in this video. I'm very, very, very ill. I'm literally like half asleep filming this. Love you. Good night. Bye.